Yes, so I trained as an environmental scientist for my bachelor's degree, and then I did a master's in volcanology, and during that time I became very interested in volcanoes and public health, and so for my PhD I then studied a volcano in the Caribbean called Soufriere Hills and the impact that the volcanic ash was having on the communities. But I did this from a earth science perspective, looking at the ash and trying to understand its toxicity. And then since then, for the rest of my career, I have been focused on air pollution and public health, and working on this area from many different disciplines, trying to work out how to protect communities mainly. Yeah, so I think for the global environmental challenges, in particular how to improve the world's air quality, we have to work not only at a local level to improve things locally first, but also in terms of expertise. We need to work not just as scientists to do this, developing solutions, but we have to work with the communities as well, and we have to work with practitioners, and we have to consider not just the science and the impact, but also the ethics of what we are doing. So there are many different factors across, in my work, across environmental science, exposure science, social science, and the public health and medical sciences, which all must be brought together in order to actually come up with viable solutions that work for communities. Yeah, so we've looked at children's exposure to air pollution in their daily routines. We found that some environments were less polluted than others, and some were worse. So, for example, travelling to school by walking or on a scooter, children could be highly exposed. So there are some things that people could try to do, like maybe if there's a route that's less full of traffic, then the local air quality might be a little bit better. But also probably travelling in a bus or a car, so a more enclosed environment, children will be less exposed. And the same applies for adults as well. Like taking green public transport that's not producing emissions is a good idea. Yeah, that's a really good question. I think in general, our research has shown that people are aware of air pollution. They understand what it is. They know it's bad for people's health, but it's easy to live with it every day. So I think really raising awareness of actually how damaging it is, that millions of people die every year from exposure to air pollution, and our children's health is in danger for their future lives as adults. So raising awareness of this, helping people to make green decisions so that they themselves are polluting as little as possible, so not burning trash, trying not to use other kinds of fossil fuels like diesel and this kind of thing. So encouraging people to think about air pollution, to realise that the haze around them is due to the emissions that we are all generating, but also I think maybe that they can put pressure on local and national governments to prioritise this as well. Yeah, so there are things that people can do at an individual level, but at the end of the day, it's also going to take governments to, for example, close the coal power stations and this kind of thing. So to make policies that are going to reduce emissions at a national level, this is going to be very important in the future. Yeah, so actually one of the bits of work we're doing is to produce public information about air pollution and how to protect adults and children. And we're using some psychological learning theories to make sure that the products we produce are as interesting as possible to people, and especially the children. So we're going to be making some videos, and we will, before we make them, we will ask children who they best learn from. You know, do they want to, if we're showing them how to put on a mask, for example, are they going to learn from a teacher? Do they want to see a teacher in the video, or do they want to see their parent or a friend or maybe a doctor? So these learning bias theories can be used from psychology to actually make sure that we produce public information that people respond to and they want to learn from and do something about, and they become motivated in that way. I think it's, as I said earlier, just really to pay attention to the air pollution, to do what you can as an individual and a family to reduce your emissions, and also to do what you can to protect yourselves and your children, because you know, we want a healthy society that's going to prosper and you know, have healthy adults in the future. And there's a lot of evidence now, sadly, that air pollution can cause major public health problems.
Lead and innovate.